Chapter 10. Hold Your Nose, or in which Prince Brat lives up to his name. Hold Your Nose Billy clapped a leery eye on the rat catcher's son. Prince, do you take me for a precious fool? Send your whipping boy to blab out where we're hid, eh? The king will come chopping down every tree if he finds out we're nested in the forest. Jimmy assumed a princely air of indifference. Then tote the message yourself. It's no skin off my ear if you never get back alive. He filled his mouth with bread and herring. I declare this is tasty. Prince Brat scoffed under his breath. He hadn't shown a moment's interest in Jimmy's scheme to free him. Their eyes met and clashed. God, Jimmy thought, he's fuming like a stovepipe at being unprinced. He'll have me charged with treason. I'll stand guard over the prince, said Cutwater. You're the one to go, Billy. Me? Hooted the big man. Me that they sing songs about and pinch their noses. At first whiff of garlic, it would be off with the head of Hold Your Nose Billy. Unlikely corrected, Jemmy. True, Papa would have you tortured a mite to loosen your tongue, but he wouldn't have your head, not Papa. He favors slow boiling in oil. The effect on the outlaws was instant. Hold Your Nose Billy's jaw dropped. Sweat broke out across his face like raindrops. Cutwater, you're skin and bones. You could slip in and out of a keyhole. I'll guard the prince. Faw, Billy. I don't fancy being boiled to a crisp. The hairy outlaw gave a loud and decisive snort. We'll send the whipping boy. Jimmy held back a sigh of relief, and my crown with him. Your golden crown? Blurted out Cutwater. Not by half, we won't. Jimmy made the pretense of blazing up with impatience. Simpleton, I swear there are not two more ignorant, cloven-footed blockheads in the land. Prince Brat shot Jimmy a quick thunder-scowl look. Stop it, he whispered harshly. Don't give them the rough side of your tongue. You'll get me whipped. Jimmy ignored him. Donkeys, he continued. Before the day is out, dozens of villains will deliver up false claims. Only my crown will convince Papa that you are the genuine villain. Hold Your Nose Billy began to pace, munching garlic cloves as if they were grapes. Finally, he tipped the crown off his head and flung it to Prince Brat. Whipping boy, deliver it to the king. If he doesn't follow our instructions to the letter, the prince will be done for, Cutwater snickered, drawing a knife-like finger across his throat. And blab all you want, added the other outlaw. We'll pack the prince off to a different hiding place. But its smelly tail, Prince Brat tossed aside the uneaten herring without showing the slightest concern for Jimmy's fate. He flicked a glance at the two outlaws. I'll deliver nothing, he exploded. I won't go back to the castle. Chapter 11, containing a great deal of shouting. Jemmy was struck dumb. Did Prince Brat have sand for brains? Gaw! Didn't he realize he could snatch up his crown and go free? It doesn't please me to take orders from common rascals, Prince Brat said coldly. It would please me to shake the teeth out of your confounded face, replied Hold Your Nose Billy. You may live in the castle, but you're only a whipping boy. Do as we say. I'll do what I choose, and I choose not to run your errands. Jimmy leaped up and gave the prince an angry flash of eyes. Jemmy from the streets gets these stubborn fits, he said, contrary as a mule. Let me have a word with him. I'll whip the mullishness out of him, exclaimed Cutwater, lurching forward. Prince Brat dodged out of his grasp, and a sour smile crossed his face. I'll tear up your vile message the moment I'm gone, and keep the crown for myself. Hold Your Nose Billy caught Cutwater's upraised arm. Hold off, there's something in what he says. You think he's angling for a share of the reward, Billy? Likely is, the greedy little snipe. Cutwater bleated. How much do you reckon we can spare? This calls for private words. Let's parley. Follow me. The moment the outlaws ducked out of the hut, Jemmy turned on his companion. Prince Blockhead, You should wear your crown to fend off woodpeckers. Imposter, how dare you insult me? You're enough to give the devil himself fits. Haven't I so muddled their brains they want to turn you loose, and you reward me with a royal squawk? The prince had crossed to the wicker basket and snatched up an uneaten apple tart. He gobbled it down. I'll return to the castle when I'm ready, when I choose, and not a moment before. Jimmy's eyes narrowed sharply. He couldn't fathom what was stirring in the prince's mind. Could he, for once, be concerned for someone other than himself? It's not me you think you're protecting, is it? You? Knowing they'll knock the daylights out of me as soon as they find out I tricked them? The prince shrugged. You're quick, boy. You'll think of something. I've already thought it. Once you're up and gone, I'll slip away. Out in the forest, I'll be harder to catch than a flea. But I'm not leaving, said the prince firmly. Gaw, but why? Is it your paw you're afraid of? Is that why you won't go back? The prince scoffed. He won't miss me. Of course he will. Let him wait and mind your own affairs, whipping boy. It is my affair. Do you reckon you're out on a lark with murderers outside? The murderers shuffled back into the hut. Hold your nose, Billy, fixed Prince Brat with a hairy smile. Never let it be sung about that. Me and Cutwater ain't generous to a fault, lad. We'll share out with you a bucket full of gold and jewels. No, replied the prince flatly, as if he'd been offered a bucket full of coal. Don't run me out of patience, warned the huge outlaw. The prince remained defiant. I'm staying. Hold your nose, Billy, ripped off his leather belt. I'll lash a bit of sense into your head. Jemmy saw that Prince Brat wasn't going to shift his ground. You don't need my whipping boy to get into the castle. There's a better way. Do say, exclaimed Cutwater doubtfully. My horse, remarked Jemmy. There's your messenger, sirs. Hold your nose, Billy gave a snort. Faugh, that fine beast. We've been afoot since our poor horse turned heels up. We need a mount in our line of work. Nitwits, exclaimed Jemmy, as if his own princely patience were at an end. With rings on your fingers and gold in your pockets, you can take to the roads like gentlemen. You'll be traveling about in fine coaches, but first you've got to lay hands on the treasure. Cutwater made a sound through his nose like a pitch pipe. With that horse outside? One of the king's own. A horse can always find his way home, can't it? That fine beast will make for the castle stables, note and crown, no questions